Welcome to my little corner of the internet where I am talking about books that I'm reading, books that I'm writing, little tidbits of what it's like to be me, little windows into my brain. I am BB Morgan, Beatrice B. Morgan also. I write fantasy, a little bit of horror, a little bit of romance, and I am celebrating the release of my 15th book that is coming out the end of this month, end of October. I'm looking at the calendar to see the date. The 24th? 25th. I'm not sure when it goes live, all right? One of those days. It will be here on the 25th. But in order to celebrate, I am kind of digging into things that I like about books, or in this specific case, things I don't like about books. I am going to be going over a few tropes that I can't stand. If you like one of these tropes, it is perfectly fine. I have nothing against you. This is not saying you can't like these tropes or that these tropes are stupid and that you're stupid for liking them. No, that's not what I'm saying. Not at all. You are free to like whatever kind of books you like. That is perfectly fine. That's why there's so many books and so many authors. Because books, they cater to everybody. There's a book out there for everybody. Everybody can go find a book that they like, and that's perfectly fine. Because I might hate a book, you might love the same book. It's perfectly fine. Everything's fine. We don't all have to like the same things. There's a combine outside. It's getting closer. So if you hear what sounds like a jet plane, it's a combine. For those of you that don't know, for whatever reason, the combine is the big tractor that eats the corn and then spits it out into the truck. It's the harvester. It harvests things with little corn teeth. But to start off this video of the tropes I hate, I'm going to be starting off with it's not necessarily a trope, but it is a mechanism that I really don't like in books, and that is insta-love. I don't like it. I need my characters to develop feelings for each other. I need them to get to know each other and develop a friendship first that can blossom into love. If they meet in chapter 1 and then they can't stop thinking about how to get into each other's pants, I'm done. I'm not reading this book. I'm done. I'm putting it down. I'm donating it. I'm deleting it off my Kindle. No. Another trope that I really, really don't like, and I know a lot of other people don't like this trope, but that is the miscommunication trope. It's not really a trope. This one is more of like a plot device. But if the entire plot of your novel can be solved and avoided by having your main characters sit down and talk to each other like normal human beings, then your entire plot is pointless. And especially especially when it's like some stupid communication where one character purposefully said something in the dumbest way possible so that you the reader know that the other character is going to misunderstand. And it's just because I know, I, the reader, know what this character meant to say, and yet they flubbed it up so much. You know that the character is smart enough to know that they said it incorrectly and that it's going to be misunderstood, and yet for some reason they just have no knowledge of this whatsoever. And it's that will make me stop reading a book because I can't stand it when characters are overly dumb. Dumb on purpose. You can it's like when the writer is trying to force the plot in a direction and you can tell it just doesn't feel natural. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know a lot of other people really don't like the miscommunication either because it feels cheap. Give me a legit reason for this plot to exist. I finished a book this afternoon and the ending was kind of a little miscommunication, but it was really more of a so these characters can be in two different places, which it worked for this specific plot in this specific scene because it wasn't the whole plot of the book. It was more so they would be in different places for the climax of the book. This next thing isn't so much a trope, it's more of a character flaw, I guess. But it's when the main character doesn't have a purpose for being involved in the plot. You know what I mean? And because I read a book recently where the main character gets involved in like the plot of this book, but their whole purpose for staying in the plot is that it's the right thing to do. She can't abandon these people. And like the entire book just felt like you could have just plopped any character in there. Like she wasn't connected to the plot at all. But her entire purpose was just, but it's the right thing to do. And I just like, I did not like the main character in this book because she was very annoying. She was very obnoxious, constantly like going back and forth. And it was just so wishy-washy. That's what she was. And I just like, wishy-washy main characters. I need books where the main character is involved in the plot and it's personal. Like, as like a little author tip here for you, make it personal. Like make the author, not the make the author, make the character have to be involved in the plot. Do invent something to where like the plot is personal to them. Like they can't walk away from the plot without dire consequences. Death, namely. Either like professional death, physical death, emotional death, someone else is death, something. Like there needs to be more agency for why the character's in the plot. And this next one is not really a trope either. It's more of like a premise. It's the child in peril stories. If like the whole story hinges on like a child is missing, oh, we have to go find the child, or oh, my child this, and like it's not a fan. I'm not a fan of like books that have small children in them anyway, just because most of the time they are written just weird because they're very clearly written by an adult, and they're either way too smart for however old they're supposed to be, or they're way too dumb. It's hard to write children effectively, I think, because it just, either way you go, it just feels very meh. And that could also tie into me personally not having children or wanting children. That like those types of stories just don't resonate with me, which is fine. If you like those stories, that's perfectly fine. Again, these are my personal opinions and tropes I don't like. Which this leads me into the next trope that I really don't like. And this one, I have learned to just put books down that do this because they just annoy me so much. Books, and this more often in like the YA sector, but it's books where like you have the main character and then you have the main character's annoying younger sibling that somehow has to go along on this grand adventure with them and has no other purpose than to be just the most annoying little shit the entire time. Just making stupid mistakes, doing stupid things that is just causing problems that in turn cause the plot to go forward. And so like the annoying younger sibling becomes like a plot device and just does nothing for the entire book and is just annoying and whiny. And then like you get to the end of the book and like something happens and they're like, you have to save the annoying younger sibling, or like something else happens and they save the day and all of a sudden they're just like, oh, everyone loves them now. And I hate the trope so much. And I think it's because there were so many of those types of like casts in like the YA fiction of like, I'm trying to like think of a year, like the 2010s, especially in YA fantasy and like sci-fi, like in that genre. There was always that annoying younger sibling, and there was one book in particular that I forced myself through because it was like the plot was interesting, dystopian. It was written in kind of a weird way. I think that's the book that didn't use dialogue tags, and that was very obnoxious. But there was an annoying younger sibling who basically tags along on this adventure, even though she's not supposed to. And she's so annoying. Like, I just serve no purpose other than to be annoying and to be like this spur to the main character the whole time, only for her to learn the whatever theme of family is important. And I just, that falls flat when I really, really, really want the character to just die. Just die and be like an emotional trauma. I don't care at this point. Is that mean of me to like wish death upon a fictional character? But that kind of leans into the next trope on my list that I really don't like, which again is more not necessarily a trope, but more of like character thing, and that is where a character is overly stupid. Uh, because when you're writing a book, right, all the information that you're putting on the page is information that the author, me, is giving to you, the reader. It is all the information. It's not for the benefit of the characters, it's for the benefit of the reader. So you're trying to divvy out pieces of information in a way that feels natural so that the reader can take them in a way that feels natural, right? And so when you have a book, and let's say a scene is unfolding, and you, the reader, know immediately what has happened. You have your assumptions of what is going on in the plot. You know what has occurred, but the characters are just choosing to be stupid. They are choosing to be this just ignorant, what's going on? What's happening? What's this? What's happening? What's going on? Like for pages. That is the most annoying thing to me. I'm like, I know what's happening and I need these characters to get on it so the plot can move forward. There was a book, I beta read, and I didn't get 50 pages into this book because that was the main characters. I think they like went back in time or something, or they went into like a weird time loop. Something with time has occurred, and they're in a weird like pocket of space or something. And they kept running into like people from different time periods, and they were just continuously just, I don't know what's going on. We just need to keep going. What's going on? Those people were weird, huh? And it's just like, are you that stupid? Have you never watched a TV show about time travel? It was just so frustrating. And I think now that I've like put this list out, I think that's what it boils down to is that these tropes frustrate me. These tropes, the premises, the character flaws and things, they frustrate me as a reader because like I want the story to kind of go in a certain way, and when you roadblock that by like the characters making like stupid, obviously stupid choices or like making stupid assumptions, that frustrates me as a reader. Because we can spend, 5 chapters with these characters going, I don't know what's going on. Or we can spend 1 chapter on it, and then you can take those other 4 chapters and either get rid of them so the plot can move forward, so more cool stuff can happen. So plot can happen. Character development can happen. So those are the tropes that I hate the most. And I realize that this video is longer than the list of tropes that I like. And I think that's because all of these tropes that I've mentioned that I hate, I have encountered at some point in time, and they have been put on a list. So that if I ever encounter these tropes again, I will know, like, no, I hate this trope. I'm not going to read this book. I like things. There's a lot of tropes that I like. So I guess it balances it out. It balances out. I like smart characters who make smart choices, who are intelligent, even mildly intelligent, you know, that can make informed choices with common sense. I like characters with common sense, not the ones that, see a ghost and they're just like, what was that? Hold on, did you see that? I'm like, what? Yeah. Ugh, ugh. So that was my list of tropes and character things that I didn't like. Stay tuned for more little nuggets into my writing. My writing. It's really late. I haven't eaten yet. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm thirsty. No, actually thirsty. I need something to drink. That's not a euphemism. It's not. No, I'm gonna go get some water. Maybe some tea. Ooh, some nice herbal tea. I have some decaf ginger peach, I think, somewhere. Okay, I will see you in the next one. Whatever that one's about.